When I began rebuilding my life after addiction, I was relieved I didn't need alcohol anymore. On paper, things looked pretty good, but inside I felt lost. I didn't know how to really move forward, and because I'd gotten sober before and then slipped back into that alcoholic insanity, I kept wondering, can I even trust myself to stay sober this time?
This happens so often. People get excited about change, they make progress, they start feeling better, and then slowly they slip back into old patterns. Today, we're diving into a critical part of your rebuilding journey. How do you make your new life actually last?
Because when people slide back, it's not because they're weak. It's not because they don't want it enough. It's usually because they try to build a brand new life on a shaky foundation. It's like building a house on shifting sand. It might stand for a while, but the first big storm exposes all the cracks.
Every strong house needs a deep, solid foundation. In life after addiction, abuse, illness, or loss, that foundation is your core values, what truly matters to you at the deepest level. I remember seasons where I was holding it together by a thread. I was showing up, smiling when I needed to, getting through the day, but inside I was exhausted and scared that my life was falling apart and there was no way out. What helped me to stay calm is inside was realizing I didn't have to fix my whole life. I just needed to know what really mattered and then take one small step at a time in that direction. If you feel like you're barely holding it together, you're not failing. You just haven't had anyone walk you through how to build on something solid yet.
If that's where you are, you're not crazy and you're not alone. So let's start with a simple question. Do you actually know your core life values right now? Not, I kind of know. I mean, written down, clear, and real.
Most people never do this on purpose. We're so busy surviving that we don't stop to ask, what do I actually value? What kind of life do I want to build from here?
But your values are your foundation line. They're the anchor you use for every decision, such as where you live, who you spend time with, how you spend your money, and how you take care of your body and mind.
When you're clear on your values, choices become simpler. You know what to say yes to, and just as important, you know what to say no to.
For example, if authentic connection is one of your core values, you'll recognize when you're staying in a fake or toxic relationship. If health is a real value for you, you'll notice when your habits are quietly tearing that down.
Defining your core values is critical first step inside of Rebuild with Clarity Blueprint. Your values are the solid foundation for your life. Discover your foundation line and let your values guide your blueprint. This will allow you to build a life that is steady, honest, and truly your own.
Let's make this really practical right now. Think of 3 or 4 things that, if you lost them, life would feel completely off. Things like faith, family, honesty, health, growth, creativity, service, peace, and stability.
Now just choose 3 that feel the most non-negotiable for this next season of your life. You can always come back and refine it later, but for now, pick 3.
Those 3 words or values are the beginning of your foundation. You can build a whole new life around those.
Once you have a sense of your values, the next layer is connecting them to a meaningful purpose. Not just staying sober or getting through the day, but actually living a life that feels worth waking up for.
Ask yourself, if my life were more aligned with these values, what would that look like? If I leaned into these 3 values every day, what kind of person would I be becoming?
Your purpose doesn't have to be dramatic or flashy. It might be to be a safe person and start living my own life, to help others that are struggling like I did, or to create a peaceful, stable home. Once you discover your core values, they naturally lead to you of living a life on purpose and to be able to start setting goals around these values. I know this works as this is what I did after I left my abusive ex, and now I'm living my life with purpose.
And if you don't feel clear on your purpose yet, that's okay. You don't force purpose into existence. You discover it step by step as you start living in alignment with your values.
Now, this is where a lot of people get overwhelmed. They say, okay, I know some values, I kind of see a purpose, but my life is a mess. Where do I even start?
This is where we come back to one of our favorite principles: start small and build momentum.
You don't rebuild your whole life in a week. You don't fix every area at once. You choose one small, doable step that lines up with your values, and then you start there.
In my early recovery, finding my purpose felt impossible. I couldn't see past the next 24 hours. So I chose one simple action: a 30-minute walk with our dog every morning. That was it. That was my starting brick.
That small habit did a lot more than just get him outside. It created space to think. It gave him a rhythm. It started to show him what actually brought him peace and joy.
And for you, that first step might look very different. If you value peace, maybe your one small step is 5 quiet minutes with coffee and no phone. If you value growth, maybe it's reading one page of a book every night. If you value connection, maybe it's sending one honest text to a safe person once a week.
This is what we mean when we say build your unshakable core. Every supportive habit you add is like installing a solid support beam in your new life around your values.
Morning routines, journaling, therapy appointments, support group meetings, bedtime rhythms. These aren't just to-dos. They're the structure that protects your peace.
But here's the key. Your habits need to match your values. If you say you value health, but you never rest or constantly numb out or never even step out, there's a gap. If you say you value connection, but you isolate and never reach out, there's a gap.
When your habits and your values line up, even in small ways, you start to feel more stable. You trust yourself more. You're not just hoping things will be different, you're living differently.
So let's boil this down to one thing you can do after this video. Step 1, write down 3 core values that matter most in this season. Step 2, choose one tiny daily habit that lines up with just one of those values. Not 10 habits, just one.
That's how you can build a foundation that can actually handle real life, stress, triggers, bad days, curveballs, without collapsing.
If you want a more structured guide to walk you through this, defining your values, clarifying your vision, and building simple routines, we cover all of that step by step inside the Rebuild with Clarity Blueprint.
You can go to rebuildwithclarity.com when you're ready to go deeper. No pressure, no rush, just a clear path when you're tired of guessing.
In this video, we focused on your inner foundation, your values, your purpose, and your small steps.
In our next video, we're going to talk about the support beams that keep this new life standing, your goals, and the people around you, and why you absolutely cannot rebuild alone.
You don't have to have it all figured out today. You just have to choose one value and one small step.
You're building on a rock, not regret. Let's build this together.